Welcome back everyone to the Hello World Guy, and this is episode number 7 of the 3D platform series. And in this video we are going to do something really interesting, which is create a level progression system for our games so that we can actually move on to other levels when we complete one, and then we can keep going on like that. So yeah, that would be really nice. Now I'm not going to create a level selection menu. Instead our game will be in a different way, in this. So for example, when the player crosses one level, the level that the player previously crossed will be saved, and when the player plays again, he will automatically get to that level instead of having this all again. So yeah, that's what I am planning on doing. So yeah, let's get started doing that. First of all, so I would like to create a main menu for that. So I'm going to go under my scenes folder. I'm going to rename this sample scene to just game, and then I'm going to hit reload, and I'm going to right click and create a new scene here called menu. Now if I open up this menu scene, it has got a main camera and a directional light. I'm going to remove the main camera, directional light, just main camera, and I'm going to right click and add in a UI canvas. Great. Now in here what we can do is that we can add in a image here called background, and background. Then you can set the image to whatever color you like and make sure it's stretched. Then set it to some nice color, I guess. Yes, that looks pretty good. Then what I'm going to do is right click on this and add in a UI and text here called well, I'm just going to call it title, because this will be the title of our game. And then what you can do is you can make it align to the top, and then you can add in a little bit of position Y, or if you do not want to do that, you can, you can set that. I'm actually going to make it stretch, by the way. And then what you can do is that you can uh, make sure that it is center aligned on both axes, and then you can decrease the y to be 0, or you can make it 1, up to you. And then what you can do is you can subtract an amount like -50, or I think that's pretty nice. And then you can click auto size, and then you can make sure that the height is increased quite a lot. I'm going to, oh, by the way, 0. Okay. So yeah, make sure that the height is increased, and I think that looks pretty nice. I got a little bit of a problem here. Okay, I accidentally changed the anchors instead of changing the actual value. So yeah, that was bad. So make sure it's stretched. Anyways, here I'm going to increase the height a bit, and then you can maybe increase the position and make sure that there's no max limit on here, so you can make it as large as you can possibly can. And I'm going to make this be called just game. By the way, one thing you can do is make this whole thing stretched, and then just select the vertical to be at the up, and make sure that the bottom and top are 0. If you do that, then it will automatically fill the whole screen all the time, provided that your max value is pretty large. So if you make that, then it doesn't quite work that well, because it does work kind of. So once we have got that, what we can do is we can change this to our game name, whatever you want, platformer, I guess. I mean, that makes the most sense to me. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So what you can do is you can have something like this, and maybe you can make it a little bit smaller by adding a little bit of padding if you want, to the right and to the left. So you maybe make it 30 and 30. Yeah, that looks awesome. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the text color to something different, like red. And what you can do now is also going to make it bold, and just set it to whatever you like. Then what you can do is you can actually add in a button here for the play button, and then I'm going to go ahead here and add in a if I can actually find a button here called play button. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this play button, and I'm going to move its position by to a little down, like -50, and that looks awesome. And then I'm actually going to increase its height, and then increase its width as well. Then what I'm going to do is change the text to play and make sure that this is stretched and auto size is turned on with not a particular max limit. And once you have done that, what I can do is I can make sure that it is like this, and then just set it to whatever max value I would like. uh, it's up to me. And I can you can add a little bit of padding here, 5 5 5 and 5. Maybe you can make a little bit more padding on the bottom because it's kind of not working really right now. Okay, that looks awesome. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good, and yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And now we can go ahead and actually add the functionality for this to work. So for this, the first thing that I will actually do is I will go ahead and first of all, I'm going to go under my script folder. In here, we have got a UI events class actually. So I'm just going to double click to open it up in VS Code, and once it opens up, we can now add the functionality we need. So I'm going to add in a public void here called start game, and it will contain no arguments, no nothing. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. And what we can do now is actually we need to start the game in here. So for this, we will need to find out which level we need to start, and then we will need to start that level. And how we will determine which level? Well, we will just use that as a build index, because build index 0 will be the menu, and the next build indices will be the actual level. So what we will do is that we can say something like int level, or maybe what we can do is that we need to basically find. So if I go ahead and say player pref dot, you can see if I use the get int method to get an integer, I'm going to give it a key and a default value. All right, the default value will be 1. So I will say int level is equal to PlayerPrefs dot get int 1. So we are and for the key, we are actually going to give it something like level, and that will be the key we will use. So you might want to create uh, a const string called key. Actually, you should do that, because you might want to change the key, and then it will become a huge pain to do it again and again, and sometimes the simple typo can cause a lot of problems. So maybe you can do this, and then you can have this level key in here. Great. Or maybe you can make it public, and then if you want to do so, you can also make it all caps, and because that kind of makes it look like it's constant. Anyways, once you have done that, we have got our level here, and we can just do scene manager dot load scene, and we can give it our level as a build index. Great. Now once we have done that, what we actually need to do with this is that now we have got a level loaded. So we need to go under Unity, and now we need to add all of our scenes to our build settings essentially. So for that, what we will do is let's compile, then go under file, build settings. Then you can see currently there are no scenes in build. Then go under our scenes folder. Then I'm going to add the menu scene first of all at index 0, and then game at index 1. Now once or actually I'm going to rename game to level 1 as well. You can also make it so that you choose the actual name of the scene based on the name instead of the build index, but I'm not gonna do that. And yes, once we have started, I can hit the play button, and oh, we haven't assigned the actual thing yet. So just select the play button, go down here, add in a on click event. Make sure that the object is set to UI events, which you currently haven't got. So create an empty UI events here, add in a UI events object. Then what I'm going to do is select the play button, and for this we are going to drag UI events as the object, and for the function just select start game. Alright, once you have done that, what we can do is we can start the game actually, and then we are going to basically hit play, and you can see that it actually works. The game starts and it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, that's really nice, and it's working. So now we need to actually create a system so that when the player has got a way to cross to the next level, and once he does, it actually works. So for this we will of course create a new level first. So I'm going to duplicate level 1 to level 2. I'm going to open this up inside of Unity, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. I'm just going to duplicate this coin here and add in another copy of this, so that we kind of recognize the two levels separate from each other. You can of course create as many levels as you would like, completely up to you. So if I okay, currently nothing happened, but what we want is that we want a way for the player to exit to the next level, and once he does, we want the next level, we want the name to recognize that by storing it in the correct key. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a we can add in a kind of a model here. You might want to create a full-fledged we will might create a 3D model. I might give you some 3D models later, but first of all, for now I'm just going to create a cube, and then make sure that it's 0 on all of the axes. Okay. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this forward and then up, and I'm going to decrease its size on the Z while increasing it on the Y and the X to both to 3 and this 2.3. Alright, that looks awesome. I'm going to increase it further to 5 and 7, and once I've done that, what I am going to do is I'm going to go under materials. I'm going to right click and create a new material here called well, I'm just going to call this portal, I guess. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this material onto this object. Then I'm going to make sure that this is no button, no nothing, and make sure that it's set to a slightly different color. Maybe I'll make it this kind of color. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And once I've done that, I'm also going to copy the hexadecimal code in here, and there should be actually there is not, because currently we are using the all one. If we change it to an unlit shader, you can actually make it look kind of like emissive, but that mainly won't really look that good. So we will add emission to this, so like it glows, but we will do it later. Now I'm going to select this cube and make sure that the box collider is a trigger. Then we are going to go under our script folder and right click, create a new C# script called just going to call it portal, and I'm going to open it up in VS Code. Okay, let's reload the assembly, and once it opens up, what I'm going to do is remove the top two using tags, and then I'm going to remove these methods here, and then I'm going to implement the on trigger enter method. Okay, and what we want to do is I'm actually going to use a function in our UI events class. Maybe you can use a function in our UI events class, because that would make it stuff a little easier to just have it in one place, or maybe you can create a separate level management class for this. Actually, I think I am going to do that. So before this, I'm just going to create a public class called level management. I should do this in a separate file, but I'm just going to do it here. It does not inherit from anything, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a public static void called start game in here. Okay, and this method is essentially going to do what this does currently. Okay, that like that, and that looks awesome. So what we are going to do is we are also going to take this and we are going to paste this in here. All right, and I'm also going to make this static. Okay, and that looks pretty awesome. Okay, you cannot mark constants as static, they are by default like accessible. And what we are going to do is, or maybe you can make it read only if you want to do that. Read only string, but anyway, I'm going to make it a const which allows me to access it in static scope. And in the start game method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just call level management dot start game. All right, and in here we can also add in a public static void called set level, set current level, maybe like that. And what you would take is an int called level, or maybe you can basically have it increment the current level, but I'm going to have it like this, which sets the current level. And or maybe we will just have it as increase current level, with no arguments. What this will do is that it will basically go ahead and first of all it will get the current level like this. All right, then it will say scene manager, oh not scene manager, player prep, player, okay, not really, we do not want to execute this line of code. Player prep dot, we are going to hit set int, and for the key we are going to give it our level key, and for the value we are just going to say our level plus 1. All right, that looks really awesome, and this should actually most of the time work. And well, actually it should work. So what we are going to do in here, we are going to say if other dot compare tag, and we are going to compare our tag with player. So if the other thing is a player, then what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead and say level management dot increase current level, and yeah, that should pretty much work. So let's go under Unity and let's compile, and then we will see how well it goes. So if I play the game right now, you can see that that's what it currently looks like, and I can go ahead and try to move on to the next level, and it does not work. The reason is that but if I go ahead in the main menu right now, it will work. The reason is that currently we are not moving ourselves back to the other level, so we are going to say something like PlayerPrefs dot set level to this, and then we are going to, well, we are going to load the next level. So we are going to just go ahead in our scene manager dot load scene method, and I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this in here as well. So let's just check out how well it goes. So currently we have got we haven't got anything because our preferences are empty. But if I go ahead and currently I'm at level 0, if I go ahead and I move to this, it should have worked, but it did not. Let me see why. So let me select my player. It currently has got the tag player and classic feet, well, feet are intact, but I'm not quite okay. We haven't added the portal script even, so I'm just going to add the portal script, and once we do that, this should actually work. So let's hit the play button, and now if I go forward and I move to this portal, it does not, okay, we haven't set up the building list yet, come on. As I'm going to go under project settings, not project settings, go into file and then build settings, and then go and in our scenes and drag the level 2 in here. Okay, and this should actually work this time because, well, it should work. So let's go ahead and actually this will not work because we have got kind of broken preferences right now. For this we will need to clear the preferences, and all you need to do for that is go under your level management class, create a public static void called clear preferences that calls playerprefs.delete all, and make sure that you add the menu item attribute to here and just choose to/clearpref, which means that it will be placed in this menu. So if I open up Unity now, you can see that if I go under, I've got the tools menu here, and here I've got clear pref. So I'm just going to click that, and that should clear our preferences. Make sure that nothing exists, no key exists. So I'm just going to go ahead, collect my coin, then I'm going to do this, and you can see I move to the second level. And if I go under the menu right now by going under scene/menu, then what you should see is that I can hit the play button and it takes me to the second level instead of the first one, because that's the one that we are playing. Alright, that looks pretty awesome. So this is pretty nice for the level management system. There are a few more things I would like to add, but this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to end this here. And make sure to like and subscribe and check out my other channel as well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.